Hi scholars, so today we're completing lesson 19 of module 5. Thoughtful mathematicians use the distance and position on the number line as strategies for comparing fractions. So we're still using number lines, and we're using these number lines to help us continue to compare our fractions. So as always, when we've had vocabulary words that we've been seeing for a while, go ahead and pause, read these vocabulary words to yourself to refresh your memory. And pause again to read these other vocabulary words. Right, so here's our first problem. I want to divide each number line into the given fractional unit, then place the fractions, and write each whole as a fraction. So I see it goes from 0 to 3. So the first thing I'm going to do is split this to represent 1 and 2, right? I want to include those on here, those wholes. Don't just want to skip from 0 all the way to 3. I want to make this a little more even. Okay, so this would be 1 whole, 2, and 3. So now we have all our wholes. Now we want to split them into the fractional unit that's here, eighths. So we're going to split each whole into eighths. So I start in the middle with half, split that half in half, and then split that in half as well. So you get 4 on each side, and do the same thing on this side, half, another half, and that gives me 4 on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal parts. We're going to do the same thing here, half, split that half in half, and then split that half in half. And again over here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal parts. And lastly, this other whole I want to again split into eighths. All of these are eighths. I want them to all be eighths. I don't want to have eighths and sixths or something else, because we're only working with eighths for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This looks a little wonky. Let me fix that. Here we are. All right, that's a little better. Okay, so I'm ready to place these. Actually, no, I'm not, because it says, right, each whole is a fraction, sorry. So I know that 0 is 0 eighths. 1 whole is 8 eighths. 2 wholes is 16 eighths, right, because that's double 8, 16 eighths. And notice I'm not changing the denominator. The denominator is staying the same throughout. Haven't been mentioning that, but I hope we've been picking up on that point that I'm not changing my denominator at all. So it doesn't become 8 eighths and then 16 sixteenths. We're keeping these eighths. That's what we're looking at. So now I want to place these fractions onto these number lines. So 24 eighths. I see that's right here. 24 eighths. So I'll go ahead and label that. 24 eighths. 19 eighths. Well, this is 16, so I can count on from there. So 17, 18, 19, 19 eighths. And then 16 eighths. Oh, that's right here. So I can label this right here. 16 eighths. Notice I didn't mark every eighth, because that would have taken a long time. That would mean I would have to do 24 eighths. 1 eighth, 2 eighths, 3 eighths. And I have these benchmark holes that can help me know what these little marks in between represent. So I didn't want to mark everything, right, to save time and be more efficient. So I want you to try this one now. Based on what I just did, do the same thing I did with these eighths to place fourths on this number line. So go ahead, pause now, gather your material, solve this, place all these fractions on this number line accurately, and then press play to check your work. So again, pause now, press play when you're ready. All right, welcome back. If you haven't already finished, please pause. Remember to pause the video before you check your work. All right, so I want to start with my wholes. I don't have all my wholes here. I just have 0 and 3. So 1 here, 2 here, 0, 1, 2, 3. Now we're counting correctly. And I'm splitting it into fourths this time, so I don't need as many parts. Thank you, Mr. T. You're welcome, guys. So I have fourths, fourths, and fourths. Okay, so I want 9 fourths, 11 fourths, 6 fourths, but I almost forgot. Write each whole as a fraction. Starting with 0, that is 0 fourths. I got no fourths. That's 0 fourths. 1 whole is 4 fourths because when my
It's
numerator...
1 o'clock.
Sorry about that, that's my clock. When the numerator and denominator are the same, it is a whole. And then double that, 4 fourths, double that amount would be 8 fourths for 2 wholes. And lastly, 12 fourths. So now I'm ready to place 9 fourths, 11 fourths, and 6 fourths on this number line. So 9 fourths would be right after 8 fourths, right? I see 8 fourths here. If I count one more, that's 9 fourths. 11 fourths, well, I can just add 2 more to 9 fourths. 10 fourths, 11 fourths. 11 fourths. And lastly, over here, I see 6 fourths. So 6 fourths, let's see, this is 4 fourths, so 1, 2, 6 fourths, 6 fourths. So I placed all these numbers on my number line. So I hope you did this well, and if you didn't, look back, see what mistakes did you make. Did you forget to split into fourths? Did you forget to label your wholes? Or your wholes wrong and maybe you miscounted? Just look over, acknowledge your mistakes so that you don't make those same mistakes again. So now I have these same number lines that we just created. I have them here for you, and now we're going to do it with the learning intention stated. We want to use these number lines and our points on our number lines to compare these fractions, and I'll do the first one for you. 6 fourths, 16 eighths. So see, the number lines are lined up equally. I have 0, 1, 2, and 3. They're all lined up evenly. 6 fourths I see is right here. 16 eighths is over here. So 6 fourths is halfway between 1 and 2, so 1.5. And 16 eighths is equal to 2. So 6 fourths is less than 16 eighths. So I'm going to use the less than symbol. It is less than. 6 fourths is less than 16 eighths. So go ahead and try this one. 9 fourths and 19 eighths. Is 9 fourths less than, equal to, or greater than 19 eighths? Right, so I see 9 fourths is right here, and 19 eighths is right here. They're really close. But are they equal? They're not. Because I see 9 fourths is lined up perfectly with this fraction here. That would be, this is 16 eighths, 17 eighths, 18 eighths. So 9 fourths would be equal to 18 eighths, but 19 eighths is 1/8 more. Very small amount, 1/8 more. So I'm going to say that 9 fourths is again less than 19 eighths. And I apologize for the text sound. So let's do this last one. 24 eighths and 11 fourths. So pause now, solve this one, and then check your work. If you haven't already, please pause the video to solve this one. So 24 eighths I see is right here, and 11 fourths I see is right here. So I see 11 fourths. It comes before 24 eighths. So it's actually less than, 11 fourths is less than 24 eighths. But the statement is 24 eighths is greater than, equal to, or less than 11 fourths. So what symbol would I use here? If 11 fourths is less than 24 eighths, how do I read this statement? 24 eighths is greater than 11 fourths, right? It's past 11 fourths. So in today's problem set, you're going to have similar problems where you're going to have to place these fractions on a number line and then use those number lines to help you compare those fractions. As always, if you have any questions, reach out to me on Schoology or Hangouts. And I apologize for the notifications and my clock going off in the middle of our lesson. I hope it wasn't too distracting. Thank you guys. Have a great day.